Hey guys, it's me here. So there was a time back in the mid to late 2000s where if you wanted to rank on Google, all you had to do was sprinkle some keywords throughout your content and maybe get a few backlinks, and then voila, you're on the first page of Google. Those days are long gone. In fact, if you try any of those old SEO tactics today, you could end up getting penalized by Google. In this video, I'm gonna now walk you through the evolution of the keyword concept and why old SEO tactics simply don't work anymore. To start, let us rewind the clock back to the early days of the internet, where search engines like Google were first taking off. Back then, the internet was a relatively new phenomenon and people were just beginning to use search engines to find information and navigate the web. These early search engines were very basic though and relied on something called keyword matching. Basically, they would scan web pages for keywords, and if your page contained certain keywords that matched a user's search query, then it would show up in the search results. For example, if someone searched for pizza delivery, websites that contained those exact keywords would be shown in the results. As search engines got more advanced, so did the techniques that marketers used to try and game the system. This led to a practice known as keyword stuffing. To put it simply, keyword stuffing is the practice of including keywords on your page as many times as possible to manipulate search engine rankings. Imagine, for example, you own a local pizza shop and you want to rank on Google for the term pizza delivery. With keyword stuffing, you might stuff your website with hundreds of instances of the term pizza delivery even if it doesn't make sense in the context of the page. Not exactly an ideal user experience. Thankfully, search engines like Google got wise to these tactics and began developing more sophisticated algorithms to combat keyword stuffing and other manipulative practices. Today, Google's algorithm is incredibly complex and takes into account hundreds of different factors when determining how to rank websites. They care about things like the quality of your content, the authority of your website, and the user experience. But in spite of these changes, keywords are still extremely important. In fact, keywords are just as important today as they were back in the early days of the internet. The trick now is to use keywords in a more strategic and sophisticated way. One thing that has changed is that instead of focusing on exact match keywords, you need to think about the intent behind a keyword. What is it that people are actually trying to find when they search for a particular term? Take the example we used earlier of someone searching for pizza delivery. Well, this could mean different things to different people. Some may be looking for a specific pizza delivery restaurant, while others may be looking for information on how to get started in the pizza delivery business. In order to optimize your website for a particular keyword, it's important to understand what people are searching for and then tailor your content to meet that need. Back in the day, keyword stuffing was effective because it was basically a way to trick search engines into thinking your page was relevant for a particular search query. But today's algorithms are smart enough to see through these tactics, and they will actually penalize you for keyword stuffing. Instead, you need to focus on creating high-quality content that is relevant to your target audience. This means writing informative and engaging articles, creating useful tools and resources, and providing excellent customer service. That said, there are still some technical aspects of SEO that remain important, such as optimizing your title tags and meta descriptions, building backlinks, and ensuring that your website is mobile-friendly. If you've been following for a while, you know that I'm a huge proponent of the more is more approach to SEO. My philosophy is that it is better to go after dozens of long-tail keywords than waste your time trying to rank for a few competitive head keywords. In fact, I think it is outright foolish to spend months or years trying to rank for a head keyword like running shoes, when you could be easily ranking on the first page for long-tail keywords like Brooks running shoes for flat feet, or best carbon fiber running shoes for road. I've seen firsthand how this works in my own niche. For example, let's take a look at my website. One of my most popular articles is titled Top 10 Best Running Shoes 2023. That article ranks on the first page for keywords like best running shoes and running shoe reviews. However, it also ranks on the first page for dozens of long-tail keywords like best Hoka running shoes or best Adidas running shoes for flat feet. In fact, when you click on the link to my website, you'll see that I rank on the first page of Google for almost 1,800 long-tail keywords. Long-tail keywords drive the majority of traffic to my website. This brings us to another common misconception. Some people believe that you can only rank on the first page of Google for one keyword. This couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, it's quite common for websites to rank on the first page for hundreds or even thousands of keywords. This is especially true for long-tail keywords. In fact, if you're not ranking on the first page for dozens of long-tail keywords, you're missing out on a lot of potential traffic. The reason why is simple. Most people don't search for generic terms like running shoes. Instead, they use long-tail keywords like best lightweight running shoes for Fast 5000. According to research, long-tail keywords make up more than 90% of all searches on Google. Not only that, but long-tail keywords are usually much easier to rank for than generic head keywords. When it comes to search intent, it's important to remember that it's not just about keywords. The way you structure your content and how relevant it is to your target audience is also important. For example, if someone searches for best running shoes, they're probably looking for a list post that outlines the top running shoes on the market. On the other hand, if someone searches for how to choose the best running shoes, they're probably looking for a how-to guide that walks them through the process of selecting the right running shoes. Understanding the intent behind a keyword will help you create content that meets the needs of your target audience and ranks well on Google. The bottom line is that keywords are still extremely important in SEO, but you need to be smart about how you use them. Keyword stuffing and other black hat SEO tactics simply don't work anymore. Instead, focus on creating high-quality, relevant content that targets long-tail keywords and aligns with search intent. Hopefully, that clears up some confusion about keywords and SEO. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to help you out. Make sure to subscribe for more great SEO and content marketing tips and have an awesome day.